guys, it's Carly from All the Pretty Books, and welcome to Collector's Corner, the place for those who are wanting to learn the nuances and finer points of collecting Harry Potter books. And today, we're going to discuss the 6 hardest Harry Potter translations to find, also known as the Big Six. Like most things Harry Potter, the Harry Potter translations are becoming quite collectible, with some more than others. And this is a newer market, and it's still growing. It seems like every day I'm meeting a new collector. So, what are the 6 hardest translations to find, also known as the Big Six? The term was coined by our very wonderful Potter collector, Peter Kenneth, a few years ago when he was still collecting the first edition Harry Potter Philosopher's Stone translations. And at the time, the list has since changed. Like all things Harry Potter, things have become more and less rare. The new list consists of Greenlandic, Macedonian, Nepali, Asturian, Gujarati, and Malayalam. The Asturian translation was published in 2009 by Trabe. There are confirmed 700 books that were printed. That's it, 700. And the book is now becoming highly collectible, and books are becoming really hard to track down, as you can imagine. The language is located in Spain, in the Asturias region, with the city of Oviedo. It is an Astur-Leonese language. There are about 100,000 native speakers and about 450,000 second language speakers. The book itself bears a strong resemblance to Spanish, even sharing the same title. The cover art is different, as you can see from the Spanish, and I want to say somebody in the Trabe publishing company, like the owner, the founder, one of those people high up, is the one who illustrated the book, and I love that. I also love the Harry Potter font. It adds an extra little touch of magic to me. And if you would like to hear the first paragraph of this book read aloud, you can check it out on my website in my Book That Lives project. All you have to do is go to the Book That Lives page and click Asturian. The Nepali translation has a very interesting story. It was published in 2009 by Sunbird, which was a publishing house that was founded by 5 women from all different backgrounds. The women wanted to help improve Nepali literacy in the poorer areas of Nepal, and they wanted to do this through introducing children's stories in Nepali. They chose Harry Potter as one of the books that they wanted to publish because 1, there was a demand. There were already unauthorized copies of Harry Potter running around, and 2, they wanted to give Nepali language a popular children's book, an authorized copy of a popular children's book. So that's what they did. They bought the rights from J.K. Rowling for $1, and then they sold the book for $2 to the public. And then they distributed the book to the poorer areas outside of the larger cities like Kathmandu because, again, they wanted to help improve Nepali literacy. Most of the people who lived in Kathmandu tended to be wealthier, and they could read English, so they had access to the Harry Potter stories through the English books. The poorer children could barely read Nepali, so they wanted to give them access to the story in their own language and hopefully improve their literacy in their own language. So that's what they did. I don't know how many copies of this book were produced. I do know that the Sunbird publishing house has now gone, it's now closed. I don't know when. I want to say 2-ish years ago, I could be wrong, but they're no longer in operation. In 2002, Harry Potter came to Greenland. The Philosopher's Stone was translated into Western Greenlandic, also known as Kalaallisut, the largest dialect of the Greenlandic language. It was published by Atuakkiorfik and translated by Stephen Hemmiken, who was a Danish-born person who moved over to Greenland, and he has since passed away since the book was published. I don't know how many copies of this book were produced, but I do know that in Greenland, a bestseller gets about 1,000 copies. I also know that Greenland has 2 bookstores and 5 libraries. So distribution is somewhat hard, I would guess, I don't know. I also know that they had access to the Harry Potter books through the Danish and English languages, as a lot of people in Greenland can read and speak Danish, and some can read and speak English. So their Greenlandic translation wasn't the only way to get access to the Harry Potter books. That could also be one of the reasons why only book 1 was published. If you would like to hear the first paragraph of this book read, you're welcome to go to my website, go to the Book That Lives project, and click Greenlandic, and you're in for a real treat. It's a really cool sounding language, guys. Unlike the first 3 books I just talked about, all 7 Harry Potter books are translated into Macedonian, and the first 5 are fairly hard to find. The first 5 were published by a different publisher than the last 2, and the first 5 bear the UK cover art, whereas the last 2 have the US Grand Prix cover art. And they're found in hardcover. The first 5 are found in softcover. So the set looks a little bit strange, but it's still really fun to have. Also, there were at least 2 print runs for the Philosopher's Stone, and I know that because I found cover variants. So with that said, I don't know how many were printed. I know, just like all the other big 6, the book is scarce even in Macedonia. And I've also heard that the Macedonian school systems are buying up the books for their students because they're making them required reading. I don't know how true that is, but if that is the case, that could also explain why Macedonian has become a lot more scarce. If you would like to hear the first paragraph of the Macedonian translation read aloud, you're welcome to check out my website. Go to the Harry Potter Book That Lives project and click Macedonian. The last 2 of the big 6 are both out of India. We have Malayalam and Gujarati, and they're both found in different areas of India. Malayalam comes out of Kerala, Gujarati out of Gujarat, and they're both scarce even within India and even within their own states. So I don't know how many books were published. I do know Manjul tends to publish about 1,500 to 2,500 books in a print run, just from some of the stuff that I've heard about Marathi and Tamil. That's kind of what I'm assuming. Could be very wrong. I do know both Malayalam and Gujarati have big speaker bases with 55 million and 40 million, somewhere in there for the languages. So lots of speakers. But I will say, from doing my Book That Lives project, I've had a really hard time finding people who can read in both Malayalam and Gujarati. I found lots of speakers, they just don't read it. So maybe the demand for the Harry Potter books in those languages wasn't there. Most of the people who I found who could speak Malayalam and Gujarati, like I said, couldn't read it. They could read Hindi, they could write in Hindi. That was kind of the lingua franca of India, so that could have been what affected the print runs for these books. It just wasn't there. So they weren't printed again. That could be the case. Only Philosopher's Stone was published in Gujarati, while Chamber of Secrets and Philosopher's Stone were published in Malayalam. And I'm currently looking for one, so if you know of anybody who has one, let me know. Alrighty guys, that's it for this segment of Collector's Corner. If you have any questions about collecting Harry Potter books, you are welcome to put them in the comments below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or you can send me an email through my website. Don't forget, from now until December 15th, I'm giving away a 20th anniversary Harry Potter box set illustrated by Brian Selznick. All you have to do to enter is subscribe. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching and happy collecting.